Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and finally the OP10 leaders are out, or like cards in general, so we can finally play with the OP10 leaders, which is quite nice because when the OP9 leader and cards were out on the sim, I actually started to play way more, like maybe 3 months ago or something, or maybe a little longer. When they started to come out, they really hooked me up for the game, and I was quite quite interested. That's where the idea came also from playing some leaders for YouTube and making some gameplays and everything. So I am usually a little sad about that we are so far behind the eastern side. It's kind of sad that they will probably never catch us up to what they are in the east side, so we will always be behind. But yeah, this is not the topic for today. We will play the Usopp blue-black leader for life, which is quite a nice leader. I actually, blue was one of my first colors I really enjoyed. Boa Hancock was my first favorite leader after Reiju. Like Reiju was more like the budget leader I bought in real life, just for playing some games and went to locals and playing with my friend. But I feel like blue in general, like especially Boa Hancock, was probably my first favorite leader I quite enjoy from all the leaders that were available at this time. And let's check out first the One Piece top decks. And yeah, I just as you know, like Usopp is kind of like a new leader, not really explored. The decklist are quite similar, but I try to copy a little what you can see on the different gameplays, or like the decklist here, not gameplays. I'm not playing the Sabo, as you saw, and also not the Monkey D. Luffy. Maybe there's room for adjustments in the future. Maybe also the Secret Rare Luffy. I think maybe some older builds played him. I don't know. No, here he is not. Let's see if we can find him. No, okay. Anyways, as you can see, most of the cards are kind of similar. Usually you want to have the searcher like Rebecca and the Leo. The Zoro is quite important as the Kairos for the Rebecca play. So Rebecca can cheat out 2 cards and draw a card. So usually you cheat out the Kairos and the Zoro for KOing something, or the Frankie on the other hand for blocking purpose. Also the Cavendish can be nice, but usually I think you will prefer the Zoro if the opponent has some 4 costs which you can KO. Bartolomeo is quite a nice 2k blocker. Ideo is a small blocker which you usually play from the trash with Frankie. So you can trash this card or discard it or whatever, and usually it can be played out from Frankie. The one leg soldier is also a nice additional 2k, and also for the cost reduction, especially for Kairos, because or Zoro also. But usually for Kairos, because you want to bounce some cards, give them back, especially like a 7 cost 9k power. Can bounce a 5 cost, so you can bounce probably a Gecko Moria maybe with the one leg soldier, and also which you cannot see here, maybe here in the top. Yeah, I also played a Zuru, quite a nice 2k, and also cost reduction just for 1 don, which can be also quite nice for these two. Also, I'm not playing the Ice Age, which could be also an addition for the future. I think it's quite an interesting card. Also I'm not playing the Gum Gum King Kong. I am playing, let's see if you can find it there, the Gum Gum Red Hawk. I think it's a really strong card, especially because Kairos is bouncing cards back to hand so they can use them again. Maybe we will see it in one of my gameplays that it can be also a little bit negative, so they can play the card all over again. And Zoro will KO them, I think. Yeah, KO. And this can be also sometimes a little kind of like problematic, because a lot of cards nowadays have an effect for if they get KO'd. So the Red Hawk will just bottom deck them, and that is quite strong, especially if you don't want to see the card next turn again. Okay, so let's go into the deck list. The Colosseum is quite important for a lot of cards, especially like for the Searcher Leo and for the Zoro. You could maybe play it as a 3-off, so I was thinking about maybe playing it as a 3-off, but I just wanted to have a basic, yeah, kind of like a basic deck list. So maybe there are some adjustments and improvements for the future. And yeah, also the Gyats. I just wanted to include some additional 2Ks because Usopp is drawing a lot of cards with his leader ability. So every time if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, your opponent KOs one of your cards on the field, you can draw an additional card. Of course, it has to be a Dressrosa type card, but I think all of our cards are Dressrosa. Okay, except for the Tsuru. But yeah, all of the others are Dressrosa. And also he gives additional 1 cost plus for each of your Dressrosa type with cost 2 or higher. So quite a nice leader for yeah, kind of like a passive and an active effect. So yeah, let's hop right into our gameplays. Let's see. Maybe start with this one. Okay. Let's go on 1.5. Let's check out. Our hand is quite nice. We usually want to see a searcher at the beginning, like a Leo or Rebecca. I think I prefer the Leo at the beginning because you can trash Ideo, for example. Or maybe also Bartolomeo for play him later out with the Frankie, because you need there a 3 cost or lower Dressrosa type card and trash. Also the Colosseum is really nice if you have it. So especially at the early plays under 4 Dawn, you usually don't have so many options. Not like Bello Betty or something where you have a lot of low cost cards. You usually want to go for the mid range, like maybe 5 to 7 or maybe 4 to 7 Dawn. And also you adjust the 4 life leader, so you need to make sure that you are not going down so fast. Not like maybe Blackbeard or something with a lot of, like a 5 cost leader in general. I feel like 5 life leader in general. At first I thought the Cavendish is kinda, I don't want to say trash, but I was kind of confused like why you're playing him. But as the gameplay went on, I quite enjoyed him. He's a 6 power character, 4 cost, and if he attacks, you can draw 2 and trash 1, which is quite nice. Getting some additional counter cards, or also the deck has kind of like a consistency problem with having the Rebecca, the Kyros, and an additional 4 cost character, which you need for cheating out with the Rebecca. Which is a really strong combo, don't get me wrong, but usually I feel like I'm always just 1 card missing. Like either I'm missing the Kyros, the Rebecca, or sometimes even a 4 cost which I want to cheat out, because in situations where all of the opponent's cards are 6 cost or higher, you don't need to play out the Zoro if you don't have a cost reduction, for example. So Lim here is cheating out a lot of cards, and we need to defend the Cavendish, because technically we go +1 next turn if he attacks. So we want to get attack and the +1. Which is quite nice. So definitely Cavendish, quite an underestimated card. Also we can get rid of the Colosseum. So it's quite a nice card to get rid of some of your cards. So now we can play the combo. Rebecca, draw a card, cheat out the Kyros, and then the Zoro. Always make sure to click first on the Kyros or on the higher cost card, because the second card needs to be a 4 cost. I accidentally in one gameplay, I think I remember, if I remember right, I pressed the Zoro first and then was wondering why I cannot cheat out the Kyros, which was kind of sad. Okay, so we were kind of lucky in killing a lot of his boards or bouncing them back. He's getting a Sakazuki and another Doflamingo. Quite nice, but he cannot cheat out both of them, which is kind of cool. So he has to decide if he want to go for one or the other. Lim also quite a nice card. Yeah, we definitely counter out this. We need the Cavendish. It's really a strong card. Its only negative side is the 0 counter. But yeah, on the end. Yeah, and we already won. Like he was kinda, or she was kinda, yeah, kinda bad position. She didn't have a really big character, couldn't cheat out a lot. And we established just with our Rebecca combo such a big board, like 3 characters. Of course, the Rebecca is not really, what do you say, like a threat, because you always need to give her a Don, and usually you are quite, yeah, quite small on your extra Dons. You usually want to use them for your playing out your big characters. I never had, or like kind of often I feel like I was not in a situation where I actually gave a Don to Rebecca. Usually I needed all of them to play out more. But the next card would have been quite strong for him, the Dofi play. He could have rested 3 of our characters for the next turn. But yeah, on the other hand, like next turn would have been really hard for him, and he also don't have a lot of counter. Yeah. So yeah, maybe he gave up a little, or she gave up a little early. Okay, then let's go to the next gameplay. So here we're playing, I tried to play against the new cards, but the new leaders, but it was not that easy. So here we are playing against Sugar. Also kind of an interesting leader, definitely. The Leo Searcher again, really nice. We grabbed the Colosseum, which is really cool for our next Dawn turn. Trash the EDO for cheating it out later with Frankie. She plays the Sugar, which is a Searcher, a little like a Jewelry Bonnie, which you can always tap down and search again, because it's an activate main, not an on play. But we have the Leo, which kicks the Sugar definitely in the butt. Yeah, 7 into life. We don't have any other options here. We also could have played the Bartolomeo, but I feel like the Colosseum is definitely the better card. Grab the Cavendish, and yeah, you can see at this point we definitely need to play the Cavendish. Otherwise we don't get the Kyros, and we need the Kyros for the combo. I mean, we could also cheat out the Zoro and the Zabo, for example. But yeah, I mean, like Kyros is such a strong card, like a 7 cost 9k power is really strong. Okay, so she cheats out the Rosinante, which is also a new card. Let's check what. Oh, 1 second too late. On play, you may trash 1 event card from your hand and draw 2 cards, which is nice. Like trash 1 for 2, but it's kind of sad that you need to trash event card and not just a random card. If you have 7 or more cards, set up to 1 of them, Don cards, then set up 2 of them as active. So it's a little bit like in Bonnie deck, some of the green cards which set you some Don active at the end of the turn, which is definitely strong in Sugar. Yeah, here we need to give her a 2k. This deck runs, like Usopp runs a lot of 2ks, which is quite nice. But you also have some of the cards which has 0 cost, like Cavendish and Zoro, which can also be kinda like a problem sometimes, but I feel like in general you cycling a lot through the cards. Okay, there's the event for giving us -2 power for our leader. I think it's a new event. Yeah, and here we cheat out Frankie and Bartolomeo, because we don't have any cost reduction, and yeah, double blocker is nice. And as you can see, like the first one is always active and the second one is always rested, which you press when you play the Rebecca, and sadly we didn't saw the Kyros. So now we use our blocker. We played the Frankie rested, even if it's a stronger character, because I was hoping he KOs something, so we can yeah, play out a blocker again. So technically we had 3 blocker for this turn. So still no Kairos, which is a little sad. Yeah, so we can play out the Zoro now. KO the Viola, and yeah, as you can see there, she gets the KOing effect of grabbing an event from the trash. 6 into 6 definitely will give us a counter. Noro Beam, okay. Like a Foxy Pirate counter. And yeah, from here we need to decide what to do. Now we got the Kairos, but we don't have enough Don anymore for playing him out. So, and also no Rebecca for cheat him out. Okay, anyways, we couldn't play Rebecca anyways, but yeah, I think in this situation we probably, yeah, take the Zoro. It's kind of sad that we cannot attack with Usopp or Rebecca, but then we can get rid of the Rosinante, which is kind of nice for not getting him or giving him an additional attacker and also additional Don every turn. I feel like also Sugar is a little bit more tech oriented, like you need to have the right events for your opponent. Which is also not different than every other leader usually. Like you always need to have the right cards for the opponent usually, if you're not ahead in the game. Okay, so he plays out a searching event. And oh, he picked no cards. This is really sad. I don't know like how his deck build is. Maybe he tested out something, played a little less cards, but yeah, he tried again and he drew the Viola. Let's check again how many cards. Oh, it's just 3 cards. Okay, yeah, I usually don't like the 3 cards. So let's check out the other new card. The Senior Pink can grab a event from the trash. I think it has to be like a special event. I think 5 cost or less or something. Event with a cost of 5 or less, yeah. And from a trash to your hand, then set up one of your Dons as active. So Sugar has a lot of Don manipulation, or really hard word. Yeah, manipulation, and the problem is, or not the problem, but it's kind of similar to Green, I feel like. She reminds me a lot of a Green leader, just with a lot of events. And yeah, we blocked her attack, give the Senior Pink back to the hand, which is like so, because you can, like she can play him next turn again, but on the other hand she is not establishing any cards so far on her board, which is really nice for us, so now she gets a lot of 7s. So she needs to have some good events now, otherwise, yeah, she is in a really bad position. Our board is full, she will get like 4 more attacks. No, 5 more attacks, and at least 2 of them. Oh no, okay, she plays the Health Judgment, so yeah, 2 attacks less. But still, yeah, in this situation we can attack with the Rebecca, just some small hits for her, so she needs to give us some cards from the hand. Let's see what she's doing. Probably she gives us a counter card. Maybe a 1k? No, okay, she actually counters out with the 0 cost event for plus 3000. This is kind of sad. Okay, so she takes the Usopp hit, and we cannot attack with the Kairos. Ah yeah, true, we cannot attack with the Kairos, so it was technically just 4 attacks she needed to get out. She probably only wanted to take 1 life. Yeah, so now's the final turn for her. If she cannot establishing anything and get rid of our board, but look at our hand. We have so many 2Ks in hand. We have 4 2Ks and 2 1Ks. So even if she puts all on her leader and attacks on our Cavendish, we probably still can get out of it. Which is an 8, 10. Yeah, we could still get out of it. We can have 10 in power in counter. If she attacks the Cavendish, then yeah, 15 into 16. We would still get out of it. Crazy. Okay, so 6 into 6. Yeah, we definitely just give a 1k counter. Our hand size is kind of ridiculous. We cannot even lose our leader ability anymore. Yeah, we play out the Searcher. I was hoping maybe I can get some Kairos, but anyways, at this point, I was thinking about maybe doing a lot of plays here, or maybe drawing a Kairos or something, but then I just realized we can just go for game here. I was a little too motivated at this point. It's kind of like, okay, let's try a lot, go and kill everything. And also the Colosseum lets us attack with characters we just played down. Not into life, but into characters. So that's why I could have attacked with the Zoro I just played out, and I attacked with him first to get rid of the sugar. And yeah, we attack 8 into 5 because a lot of his events, or her event, give plus 3000. So it's usually a good idea to attack with 8. Yeah, as you can see, he could have get rid of 3000, and now she needs to give us another card. Yeah, 9 into 5, she probably cannot count out of this. This needs to give us, yeah, maybe an event and another card, or 3 cards in general. Okay, she gives us the event, 0 cost event again. So she still needs the 2k. Ah, okay, and she gives up at this point because she knew we still had 2 attacks and some Dawn left, so even if this was a nice event, she couldn't get out of it. So Sugar, definitely a cool leader. I think she maybe needs to get figured a little bit more out on how to play her, and there are a lot of different deck lists on how to play her. Maybe there will be in the future some support cards, because she is definitely not the strongest, but still a cool leader. I quite enjoy her. Maybe I will test her out later as well, or I think I will test her out for sure later. So let's see, I think this one. Oh, okay. Maybe this one? Yeah. I accidentally clicked on the wrong play. So now we're playing against Eustass Kid. Really strong leader, and probably one of the favorites, or like the hidden champion of the new OP10 leader. I saw a lot of YouTubers making videos lately about him, like the last 2 days. And he is probably also, as a yellow leader, a lot of people quite enjoy yellow. Also, he's, I think, probably the strongest of the new ones. I think green yellow Law is also nice, and Usopp also. Yeah, maybe Usopp and Eustass Kid are kind of like same, like they need to be figured out which one is stronger and check, yeah, which one is the stronger leader, gets more wins. But in total, at least in the eastern side, the Usopp is a little stronger at the moment. Yeah, we played the EDO, which is quite nice. We get the blocker, the block, then we could draw a card, and with our leader ability. And he played out already the Basil Hawkins, really strong card. Like, Basil Hawkins is such a nice card, and especially for the leader when you can make him like a blocker. So now I will play out the Cavendish because I need a Kairos. Without the Kairos, it's, yeah, we are at the 5-down turn. Next turn, yeah, next is the 7-down turn, and then we need a Kairos for cheating it out with Rebecca together. Okay, give him a 2k. Probably the Eustass Kid attack will let it through because yeah, we are still at 4 lives, or maybe no, it's like a 6. Maybe I can give it 2k. Yeah, why not? Our hand size is kind of okayish, and at this point he is not threatening us so much. Okay, he will not attack with the Zoro. I don't know why. He probably should have, but maybe he didn't want to give us an extra card. So now drawing a card, and sadly we didn't get any Kairos. So he blocks, and we need to treasure life. Okay, it's not a Kairos, so we don't have to feel sad that we didn't took the hit. Yeah, so at this point it's kind of sad that we cannot cheat out the Kairos, but on the other hand we still have a Zoro and a Frankie, so we can cheat out the Frankie active and the Zoro, and we could also have hope for the draw 1 card. Maybe it could have been a Kairos, I don't know. And there was the Kairos, like Zoro trashed the Kairos. Anyways, we KO'd nearly his whole board. He's playing the Law, nice card, so he can put a card on top of his life. Then he can turn it around and make the Law a blocker. Law is kind of similar to Kairos. Both are really strong 7 cost 9k power cards. The only difference is that I feel like the Law effect is maybe a little stronger. And also it's a secret rare, so probably this card will be damn expensive. Also it's lore, like a lot of people really enjoy lore. Anyways, we got the Kairos finally. But now we don't have any Rebecca anymore. And also our board is full. And we also didn't have any 4K for cost card to cheat out. So we just reduced the cost of the law and give him back to hand with the Kairos. And also we drew a Red Hawk, really nice, for maybe bottom deck one of his 8 cost kits. So just go into life, he's not using his blocker. I don't know why, actually. Okay, so he blocks the attack with his Beiji. Or Batch, I don't know how, actually I don't know how to say the name in English. I think probably it's Batch. There's the Searcher. I think when Batch was there in the anime, it was still in German when I watched it. So yeah, anyways, I think there was at a late or full cake island where I needed to switch to Japanese and just subtitles. Okay, so he plays the law again. He tries to establish the big body again. Puts the Basil Hawkins on top of his life. It's quite a strong card. We used the Gum Gum Red Hawk. So finally get rid of this stupid card and he cannot play it out anymore. So yeah, 5 into life, he probably would take it. No, okay, he gives us a blocker. He probably don't have any 1Ks in his hand so far, which is quite nice. So we use the Cavendish. Draw 2, trash 1, really nice, get rid of the Searcher. We will not need it now anymore. Yeah, so now he takes the Basil Hawkins for draw 2, trash 1. Quite a nice cycle through the cards. Okay, going into his life with 6. He gives us a counter with 9. He gives us the blocker. And I was thinking actually of attacking with Rebecca, but I thought like maybe the Frankie is the better idea. So we can block 2 attacks even if he plays a Russia out next turn. So he probably wants to get rid of our Kairos or Cavendish. Probably Cavendish first, because he can always cycle us. So we always get technically +1. And maybe I thought he's playing out a Rush Zoro. Or maybe the Rush Ace, I don't know. So that's why I thought the blocker is probably better. So yeah, now we can draw a card, which is, yeah, quite nice. A Kairos again. And play out the card. And as he didn't play out any Rush, so we can play out the Searcher. Yeah, rest the Colosseum and take one of the cards from the top of our deck. We take the Rebecca, trash the Searcher because we probably not need it again, the Leo. Okay, so you put a Zoro on top, Law on top. Law can play out himself as a trigger. So I was thinking about playing the 2-leg soldier and making the same again, like -3, play out the Kairos, give Law back to the hand. So he technically, like 3 turns in a row, he got his 7 cost back to hand, which is quite devastating. Like losing 7 Don every turn is kind of sad. And he will get 5 attacks this turn. So let's see. Okay, first one he counters out with a 1K. Another 5K attack. Let's see what he's doing. Okay, he takes it. He lost the law. I think he did a... Oh, let's go back and check also his hand. I think he did a misplay here. Yeah. The Zoro, I think it's the same as... how do you say the... Bello Betty new yellow cards. Like, I think it says like you and your opponent needs to have 5 cards in life or less, and you can activate the trigger, which is really confusing because I don't know why you should, but then you need to trash the card and you cannot play it out. So maybe he thought, oh nice, I can play it out, and then he actually couldn't play it out. Yeah, and that's why he thought he lost the game at this point. Okay, so he had 2 more laws in hand and the Eustass kit, which is kind of sad for him. Didn't have any blocker anymore, and the Thor. Yeah. we really controlled this game. I played another game before, and like actually I got really controlled at this point. But if you can establish the board, like especially the 7-cost Don turn, the 7 Don turn with the 7-cost Rebecca and Kairos and Zoro, or Kairos and Frankie, then you're really ahead at this point. Like usually losing then is kinda yeah, kinda unlikely, I would say. Okay, so maybe you can take a quick look at where was it? Here probably, yeah. Let's have a look at here. If your leader has supernova type and your opponent life card total is 5 or less, yeah. So we both needed to have 5 or less life cards, but actually we both had in total I think 6 or 7. Okay, so let's check another video out, and this time we will play against the new law. Okay, let's go. So we mulligan because our first hand, let's check it again. Yeah, 0 Searcher and 2 Kairos, probably a little bricky. We definitely want to have some Colosseum, some Searcher in our early hand, maybe an EDO for trashing. But usually if you have the Leo, you can get to an EDO. Or at least the Bartolomeo. Because Bartolomeo can also be cheated out with Frankie. Okay, play the Rebecca Searcher, we will grab Zoro maybe? 7 into 5, he takes it. A Zoro trigger, really sad. So he established another body. Then Jewelry Bonnie, also quite a strong card, so yeah, we take the first hit. Another 5-cost. 5k attack. So we needed to give to Frankie. Probably I should have given an... Oh, I couldn't give any other card because I needed the Rebecca. Yeah, really unlucky because the Frankie is quite a strong card in this matchup. Yeah, because the law plays a lot of rush characters and like kind of 5 to 6 cost and power characters, like both. And you really get a lot of pressure from him, especially in the early game. So yeah, you definitely keep up with the pace, and the problem is if you don't have any blocker, then you really get punished for that, especially if he has the Cavendish for getting always additional done. Yeah, I let the Zoro go. I'm not sure. Yeah, we don't have any 2k counter. The Red Hawk is a brick in this game. We take the EDO. Or we can take the life and get an EDO. Yeah, we need to play out the Rebecca. Sadly, we get another Red Hawk. We only play 2 and we get 2, which is kind of sad. Give the blocker back to hand. We probably should have gave the other law back to hand and then attack the blocker with Kairos. I think he was rested, right? No, he was not rested. Okay, then we did the right decision. I give the blocker back to hand. He only has 1 card in life. So at this point we are kinda ahead. Okay, he gives us a 1k. Definitely also recommendation, like the law you see at the moment on the board and also in the trash, is a card from a structure deck and had a reprint in a special pack or something. So it's quite rare, and also you will need it for the law deck. So maybe a good pick to buy if you want to play the law like a little earlier than everybody else. Because most of the other cards except for Cavendish and the Secret Rare are a little cheaper. Okay, 6 into life, we take it. 2k, quite nice. Our counter size in hand is quite small. Okay, he gives the turn back. He still has a blocker and 0 card in life. Okay, this feels like a no-brainer. Yeah, probably. I didn't saw the writing on the wall here. I probably should have just went into life. But I can maybe bounce. Yeah, I can bounce back the blocker, which is probably also a good idea. I don't know. I didn't need to. But then I can just go 9 with Kairos. Yeah, or maybe take the Red Hawk. But he still has two blocker at this point. So this is like a really difficult situation. Like as you can see, like he has 2 blocker and Cavendish for next turn getting additional done. So next turn we also only have 1 life and nearly 0 counter cards and no blocker. So okay, except for the EDO, but EDO is probably also not the strongest card. So at this point, yeah, we're quite in a bad situation. What I should have done at this point, maybe play out the Kairos, bounce back the Law, and then attack with the new played Kairos into the other Law. Because of the Colosseum, we can always attack into it. We have just 9 Dawn. So then we still had like 2 and 2 Dawn open. Or what? Another thing that we should have or could have done, just straight into life. Like didn't even hesitate or let us bother from the blocker. Just go 8 because this is a 6. Yeah, 8, 9, and then maybe 8 or 9 again. Probably 3. We have 6, yeah, then 10 and 9, yeah. Probably should have just strong. Oh, when we also have a 7. Yeah, we maybe could have counted in 9, 9, 7, 8. Yeah, something like this. Would have been probably the best idea at this point. So, yeah, but we underestimated his board a little. Or at least I did. And, yeah, now we're kind of in the bad spot because we lost our Cavendish attack just for a 6 cost attacker. And we don't have. If we had a Gravity Blade, the game probably would have looked way better for us. We could just bottom deck 2 of his cards, but we definitely didn't. Yeah, so now he gives us the Bonnie. So at this point, we can probably not finish him. And if he has a blocker, a card which taps our blocker, like the, how do you call him, the X-Drake, then we lost. Yeah, there's the tap, and we cannot counter out of it anymore. We only have a 2k. Yeah, and another, and he plays out the Law again for untap the Cavendish, which gives us another 2. Yeah, another 2 Dawn up. Quite sad. So at this point, yeah, we definitely just lost, or like I just lost because of yeah, the mistake that I underestimated his board and probably overestimated his counter size. He only had 1k counter, so I just have swung into life and probably killed him. But here I was a little overthinking at this point, I feel like. So quite sad. So you definitely saw the new Law can also push a lot into life. So this is the last game, the 5th game for today for the Usopp against Blackbeard. A really strong meta contender at this point. He also got some new additional cards. The Kuzan and the event. So 2 Searcher for us, which is quite nice. We get the Colosseum. Sadly we couldn't play it out this turn, but anyways. We trashed the Bartolomeo. He will not swing that often in our life also. Or he will, I don't know. Okay, we give him a counter. KOs. We draw a card, nice. Yeah, here's the problem. Should we play out the Colosseum or a 4k? 4-cost counter. Probably for 4-cost Cavendish is the better idea here. Because we can kill his Docu with the Rebecca. He will then draw a card, which is a little sad, but on the other hand, at least we get rid of the KOing effect. Which can be quite strong if he plays later the Docu. Okay, he gets the trigger, draws the Jesus Burgess, with Rebecca into the dock queue. And there's the Cavendish, quite nice. To establish this card because it's a when attack, so probably Blackbeard want to get rid of him for sure. Okay, there's the Kuzan. And he plays his ability for Black Hole. Yeah, so what can we do at this point? Yeah, just attack with Cavendish. We definitely need more Cavendish in this game. If we had two in our hand, like two Zoros, we definitely played out both of them. Because it's such a nice card in this game. For just additional power. We play out the Colosseum, quite nice for a card for the future, and also the Frankie. Because we can, it's like an on KO, so it's also not affected by the leader ability. And we can just take care of our Cavendish. That Blackbeard cannot KO it. With attacks or... Oh yeah, just attacks with effects for sure. There we play out the Searcher. So get a Rebecca. Sadly we didn't get any big characters. We definitely would have needed maybe a Kairos for example. Or a Cavendish for sure. Like a Kairos and a Cavendish, probably the best card we could have drawn at this point. Yeah, just give him a 2k. We need the Cavendish for sure. Place the Dock Q. And the Jesus Burgess. Strong card. Sadly another Rebecca. It's cool that we have the Red Hawk in this game because we probably will need it for the Blackbeard in the future. But we definitely need to push a little faster for game here because he's still at 3 life. And we don't get any other Cavendish, which is really sad. If we had 2 Cavendish or just 1 Cavendish, then we for sure Frankie and Cavendish here. We need to get more Cavendish. So that's also another benefit of the card, it's quite strong against Blackbeard, because it's not affected by the leader ability. So I played out the Zoro just to have an additional attacker with 6 cost for more pressure at this point. Oh, that's really sad, he plays the Liberation, the new card. So he gets rid of our Frankie and Zoro, but luckily for us, we get a on-K effect. But sadly it's not active blocker. But usually they attack them anyways, yeah. So just go into them. And now 10 into 4, 10 into 6, we need 3 cards to counter out of that. Yeah, we will not do that. So we could counter out here. I don't see any reason why not. Another Colosseum, we really had... Like the last 3 or 4 turns were really bad in terms of drawing. Okay, so at this point I just want to get rid of the Jesus Burgers. It's getting stronger and stronger. We need to get rid of it here at some point. It's also a tip for Blackbeard in general if they establish a Jesus Burgers, and it's like this here, like this situation, like 7 cost or even 8 cost, just go a high amount and just get rid of it. He will not give you 2 or 3 cards usually, maybe 2. Never 3, I think. And then you at least get rid of this card. And of course now with the Kuzan, he can get back to it. Yeah, there's the Kuzan and he can get back of it. But usually it would take a turn because they will play out the Kuzan and wait for 1 attack at least and then go into. I would say we take this, probably. Yeah. And it's still Rebecca. It's so sad, he will go for his leader ability for sure. Yeah, there's the Black Hole. We can counter out with the Frankie and play another card from trash. We probably should have counter out the first attack. Play out the Searcher. And like the Leo. And yeah, just search another card and also have another attack ready. Like we can just take then 3 extra Don for going 5 into life again. Kinda sad at this point. We don't really have a lot of options here. Yeah, so we can KO the Van Orga. 7 into 6, I just want to see if he gives us a 2k. Yep, he gives us a 2k, quite nice. So 7 into Van Orga again. Is he giving us another card? No, he lets it go. He's drawing a card and another blocker. So even if he plays out the Blackbeard and takes the Jesus Burgers from trash, we still have a blocker for his attack. So we're feeling kind of safe to protect our Zoro. We can give it 1k. Or blocker even, yeah, to draw a card, and there's the Cavendish, quite nice. Yeah, he will attack for sure because he waited so long, like just one additional turn for Kuzan, then why not just taking one card and then playing Jesus Burgers? This is usually how you should do it. And he KOs with Liberation or Zoro, so that means he don't have any teach, which is really sad for him. He cycled through a lot of cards. And we have so many Rebecca's and cards. It's really sad that he played his on-play like his black hole every turn. And therefore he's quite in a good, still quite in a good position, I would say. He has another Kuzan, he has a 10k power, Jesus Burgers. When the trigger, he gets the teach. Quite nice for him. Yeah, we can just go into live. Keep the blocker. Yeah, keep the blocker up. And yeah, go just 8 into life, take another life, so he's just at 1 life. He will play out the teach anyways next turn, and then play the Cavendish. Okay, so at this point, it's kind of a mixed situation. I wouldn't say we are in a really good position, but definitely not in a bad one. Probably the Rebecca. Yeah, because we still have 2 in hands, and he will probably still do the leader ability next turn. 10 into life, we need to take it. We could have also given the blocker, but I feel like the blocker is maybe a good idea for next turn. So we can just go into live after playing the Red Hawk. And now it's getting kind of dangerous for us. He plays another Jesus Burgers, and now they are at 11 power. But he only has 3 cards in hand. Probably one is a teach or something. Or not a counter card. So yeah, just check our luck. He gives us a counter. We're playing 2 EDOs. So we can block still the next turn again. Okay, he KOs the Cavendish with another finger pistol. Yeah, we can counter out, no worries. He gets rid of another blocker, okay, crazy. Yeah, we probably just take 1. Because we need the Bartolomeo for attacking next turn. He just has 1 card in hand, and if he used the on-play ability, then he lost for sure. Yeah, we just counter out. Yeah, and he lost. 5 into lead, and then all of the others into the rest, and we won. Quite nice this game. Let's see, maybe he got a trigger, but yeah, it looked like the usual Blackbeard build, like not a crazy dangerous blocker trigger, and yeah, nothing that could save him. Let's see if he, yeah, he takes it. Okay, yeah, and it's just a Shuraya. Oh no, it was a finger. Ah, crazy. He got yeah, a finger gun trigger. Crazy. So really lucky that we had the right turn, like the right order. Otherwise, we would have lost our Bartolomeo and lost next turn. We could have played out the Frankie, which is at least 1 card blocker. But yeah, probably with 3 attacks, he would have finished us anyways. Like even with 1 blocker, no chance at this point. So yeah, this was our Usopp gameplay today. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like the leader is quite cool. I really enjoyed playing him, and at the beginning maybe the first 2-3 rounds were kind of difficult just to get to know which cards are important, which cards you need. As I said, like at first I thought the Cavendish is kind of trash. Also, I never played out the Zabo. Maybe it's a cool tech choice because it's also a 2k counter, but maybe also an option for playing a different card. I was also thinking maybe 1 Colosseum less. It's a nice card if you have it, especially for the Leo and for the Zoro. But if you don't have it, then maybe, yeah, also not the worst, I would say. But in general, I quite like the decklist so far. Yeah, as I said, maybe some small changes. I'm not sure if you need the Red Hawk. You could also play the Gravity Blade or even play the Ice Edge for more cost reduction for the Zoro or for the Kairos. But I feel like the bottom deck is also quite strong. Maybe depends on the card. Usually you want to bottom deck the Warrior, but as you saw, like the Secret Wear Law or also the Kid are also fine to just give it back to the hand or KO it anyways. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. I hope you are yeah, kind of hyped for the new OP10 meta. I will probably do a lot of more OP10 leader and gameplay now than OP9. Maybe I would check out some other, or sometimes doing also some video about OP9, but in general, I think like I will focus a little more on OP10. And yeah, hopefully you're hyped about it. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.